Welcome to Sun, Sand, and Tea. I perked up at the precious sound of seashell wind chimes bouncing and tinkling against the front door of my new cafe. I'll be right with you. A pair of ladies in windbreakers and capri pants smoothed their windblown hair and examined the seating options. Sounds of the sea had followed them inside, amplified briefly by the opening door. I bopped my head to a Temptations song and tapped the large sweet tea jug behind the counter. Until 3 months ago, owning and operating a nice tea shop on the shore of my hometown had been nothing more than a childish dream. I'd thought being a grown up meant working a job I hated while wearing uncomfortable clothes, so I towed the line for a while. But my looming 30th birthday and a broken heart had changed all that. Now I did what I wanted in comfy clothes for significantly less money, but at least I could wear flip flops. I set a lidless canning jar of old-fashioned sun tea in front of the man sitting at my counter and beamed. "Let me know if I can fix you anything else, Sam." He frowned at his phone, too engrossed or distracted to answer. Sam Smart was a local real estate agent. He arrived in charm during the years I had been away from home, and from what I could tell, he was a type A, all stress, all day kind of guy. A little sweet tea was probably just what he needed. I nudged the jar closer until his hands swept out to meet it. "Thanks." "Everything okay?" I asked. He flicked his gaze to mine, then back to his phone. "It's pain." He shook his head and groaned. "Ah." I grabbed a thin stack of napkins and patted Sam's shoulder on my way to welcome the newcomers. "Good luck with that." Benedict Payne had been a thorn in my side since the day I had approached our town council about adding a cafe to the first floor of my new seaside home. Owning a sweet tea shop was a dream come true, and honestly, I couldn't afford the house's mortgage payments without the business income. Despite the home's fixer-upper condition, the price tag had been astronomical, making the cafe a must, and Mr. Payne had fought me the entire way, complaining that adding a business to a residential property would drag down the neighborhood. I could only imagine the kind of headache a man like Payne could cause a real estate agent. Hey guys, thanks for stopping in today. Today I am going to review for you Live and Let Chai by Bree Baker. This is the first in a series of a seaside cafe mystery. I'm going to tell you from the very get-go, what gets me to pick up a book is always the cover art. So don't let anybody fool you that the art on the book is not important. So I love this book, and there is a series to come. There are, I think, currently 4 to 5 books in addition to this one. I've not read them yet, but I assure you I will be. This book is based on the life of Everly Swan. She is the sweet tea shop owner, the cowboy chaser, and the main character in this book, and I just adore her. And that, I think, is what gets me coming back. I can sit down and read all day long as I'm invested in the character, and I am totally invested in Miss Everly Swan. She grew up on the island of Charm, which, if you are from North Carolina, when you read it, you'll realize is set somewhere in the Outer Banks. So that also makes it a book I wanted to read because I love when stories have a little bit of my own area in it. So I enjoyed that aspect of it as well. Now, these are mystery books. In the first minute of the book that you heard me read, I introduced you to Mr. Benedict Payne, and he is the unlucky victim of this book. But you will not believe who his killer is. So I highly encourage you to stop by Amazon, stop by your local library, wherever it is that you get your books from, and check this book out more in depth. There is a handsome detective and his son that are introduced into the story. There is also Everly's sweet bee-loving aunts and the curse of the Swan women. So there was nothing about this book that I just didn't love from the very, very get-go. I love to read a very wide variety of books. So whether it's an autobiography or something a little deeper, sometimes I really just like to read a book that I can really connect to the characters and enjoy a story without having to think too hard. And that was part of what brought me into this book and what made me just love the characters and love the town. And I love the ability to close my eyes and picture where these people are. So when I close my eyes, I picture Everly. I picture her house on the hill. I picture her little shop. I picture her crazy cat and her seagull Lou. Guys, you have to read this book. You have to check it out. I will leave you a link to Amazon in the description below just in case you want to pick it up there. So I am going to leave you with that information. I hope you will check this book out. The next book in the series is No Good Tea Goes Unpunished, and I will be reviewing that when I'm finished reading it. Thanks so much for stopping in, guys. Have a great day.